Sacco and Felice, New York and New Jersey's premier attorneys at law. Their team brings decades of experience across a wide range of practice areas. Whatever life brings, they're your legal team. From everyday matters to complex cases, they've got you covered with the experience you need and the results you want. Because when life gets complicated, they make it simple. SaccoFelice.com. SACCOFILLAS.com. 2 C's, 2 L's.
Springfest means more sun, more fun, and more free at Lowe's. Keep your yard in line with an additional free Ego 56-volt battery when you buy a select Ego mower, trimmer, or blower. Plus, keep landscaping fresh with Stay Green 1 cubic foot garden soil, 5 bags for $10. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 4/8 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. Soil offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
The Roger Stone Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And we're back on this Easter Sunday, Resurrection Sunday. Joining me now is a good friend, Lance Migliaccio. He's the host of the Big Mig Show. He'll tell us the many platforms, including Rumble, where it's very fast growing. He also is the host of a new show on cryptocurrency and Bitcoin that is red hot, from what I hear. Born in the Bronx, Lance is a guy who tells you, exactly what he thinks, and he goes after politicians on both sides of the aisles because he stands up for what's best for the country. He's outspoken and knowledgeable, which is why I wanted to have him on today. I affectionately refer to him as the Big Irishman. It's kind of a inside joke because he's as Italian as I am. So, Lance, welcome to the Roger Stone Show. First time.
Hey, Roger, thanks so much for having me. Yeah, it is the first time. It's been a minute. Happy Easter, man.
Great to be here. I'm glad to have my voice back. I was delighted that you were able to come on. We need to get you on more often. So this was a wild week. We saw the termination of Pam Bondi, and as I expressed earlier, my view that the president terminated the wrong person. The person who has stymied the Russian collusion prosecutions, the person who has stymied the efforts to determine whether the 2020 election was sullied by both mail-in voter fraud and electronic voting machine fraud. The person who essentially undermined the prosecution of Letitia James and Adam Schiff for mortgage fraud, for doing things that, Lance, if you or I did, we'd already be in the Huskow. That would be Todd Blanche, who's on the record as saying that he thinks that pursuing those cases would be retaliation and revenge, and it would be a weaponization of our justice system, which is, of course, the exact opposite of the truth, because it would be accountability and justice. He is now the acting Attorney General. He may yet be appointed to the position. Let me say right off the bat who is not in the running, many of whom would be great. Judge Jeanine Pirro, who we need right where she is as the U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia. My good friend Alina Habba, who's a firebrand, but I think probably, like many of the best people, unconfirmable by the Senate because she's so passionate in her support for the president and the law. Harmeet Dillon, like her a lot. She's done an amazing job at the Civil Rights Division, taking on cases that nobody would take on, but I think we need her there, or maybe a slight elevation. Ed Martin would be great, but he's the last guy they'll give it to because he knows more about the weaponization of our Justice Department against Donald Trump and Republicans than probably anyone alive. And in fact, proving my point, it was Todd Blanche who closed the weaponization office, who publicly castrated Ed Martin, completely unnecessarily because Martin, as good a man as he is, he had no authority to convene a grand jury, to seek an indictment. And it proves my point regarding Blanche's animosity towards holding anybody responsible. I also happen to know that neither the president or his chief of staff were told in advance that Todd was shutting down the weaponization office and terminating Ed Martin, who remains as the pardon attorney. And then here's something we can really celebrate about. Lindsey Graham's candidate for Attorney General, Trey Gowdy, he will not be getting the job.
Yeah, that lineup, there's a couple of names on there that I like. I mean, I heard Lee Zeldin's getting floated out there. I don't like that name. The problem, I think, Roger, really comes down to we all voted for transparency, accountability, and consequences. We all voted for equal application of the law. We wanted the rule of law to be supported. And it wasn't just supposed to be weaponized against Jay Sixers or Roger Stone or Mike Flynn. It was supposed to be that everybody was going to have to pay the piper if they violated the law. So, if Blanche doesn't recognize the necessity for that, and if he's unwilling to fulfill the obligation, because, again, it's pretty clear, the laws of the United States and statutes apply to everybody equally. But that's not what's happening. We've got a two-tier justice system, and right now, I think that the midterms are at risk because of it. There are plenty of operations, the Dirty 51+8, the Russian collusion hoax, the Seth Rich laptop, questions of that, Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama. I mean, listen, the list goes on and on and on. And I'd be beating a dead horse here with you. The situation for me is I want arrests and I don't want excuses. And I don't want an AG. And I don't know what the situation was with Pam Bondi. I don't know who is holding her back. But some of these crimes are so obvious. Letitia James, Adam Schiff. We've seen the documentation. The evidence is clear when it comes to the mortgage fraud. And if Roger Stone had this kind of evidence against him, he'd already be sitting in jail. They'd probably deny him bond because he'd be a flight risk. I just don't think we're getting what we voted for so far. And if Donald Trump is going to put somebody fresh in there, I think we need a real pipe hitter. And I'm not sure who that is right now. I have to be honest. I lean towards Sidney Powell. I don't know if that's a good or bad. But she's already been forged in fire. Would she have what it takes to do the job that's needed? I don't know, but I'm not sure any of those people we just named do. Honestly, Roger, I want to see somebody in there that's going to go for the jugular.
Well, the interesting name that has been floated and would solve a political problem for the president is the Ken Paxton, the Attorney General of Texas. He's a very good man, a hardline supporter of the president, and he is right now seems to be pulling away in the runoff for the U.S. Senate, where he's challenging John Cornyn, who's a, shall we say, more establishment Republican. But I really believe, and I tried to get at this with Jeff Clark, although I really wanted him to focus on the process, whether any appointee of the president can get what I believe will be the 60 votes to get out of committee. Tom Tillis, the stain on the U.S. Senate from North Carolina, says he won't vote for anyone who will not say that January 6th was worse than Pearl Harbor and World War II. Will Todd Blanche say that? That'd be interesting to see if he gets the full-time appointment. The other big story this week, of course, was my old friend Laura Loomer got out there and said that Tulsi Gabbard would either quit or be fired. It was coming any second now. The problem was she was completely and totally wrong. And Tulsi Gabbard's done nothing to justify being fired. In fact, the current CIA director, John Radcliffe, he could have declassified the Russian collusion documents before the 2020 election. He just didn't do so. And that was costly in that election. What we now know, thanks to the orders of the president and the courage of Tulsi Gabbard to carry them out, is that there was a seditious conspiracy involving Biden, Obama, Clapper, Comey, Brennan, the Islamic Harvard, Rosenstein, who said under oath before the Senate, I never authorized any investigation into Roger Stone. Let me show you the document. I have it framed here on the wall, October 16th, 2019. That's perjury. That's lying to Congress under oath, Mr. Rosenstein. But as you point out, it's a two-tier justice system. Laura and I used to be friends, but at this point, this has become very contentious because I do still have great affection for her. I think she is fearless and she does some great work, but she is just maniacal, and she seems to me to be Israel first. Now, let's be clear. Laura Loomer knows that I oppose radical Islam as much as she does. I have been as outspoken about it. I'll give her more credit. She changed herself to the doors at I think it was Facebook or Google, and she was banned everywhere. A total ban. Although they did that to me too, going on Facebook, going on Instagram. But in this case, her maniacal hatred for Tulsi Gabbard, a decorated war hero, a woman who fought for her country in Iraq, a 4-term member of Congress. Yes, there has been some shift in her views. She's always been anti-war, but I think has done an extraordinary job. Just this week, she declassified new documents that show that the Biden administration was shifting money into phony green energy programs that were supposed to happen in Ukraine and then moving that money to Joe Biden's reelection campaign. This is the person that Laura Loomer is so desperate to fire. So I had to call her out. I spoke to the president. I also spoke to Tulsi Gabbard, and I very quickly learned that she was either not planning to resign and there were no plans to fire her. So I'm beginning to question Laura's mental stability, to be quite honest with you. I don't question her intelligence or her tenacity, but I also know how this works. She posts for money. Now, I post opinions, but in those cases where I have a conflict, which is rare, I point out that, yes, I work for this candidate for Congress, and I think he's going to win. But I think she's made a business out of this, and I'm not saying that she works for a foreign nation. I may have no evidence of that, and if she does, she would have to report that, specifically if she's saying it in the media. But I hope she settles down, because she keeps attacking. She's attacking Donald Trump. She's attacking one of Donald Trump's very best nominees. I just wish that she would stop attacking President Trump, who expressed full confidence in Tulsi Gabbard. I'm Roger Stone, and we'll be right back with Lance Migliaccio from The Big Mig Show on the other side. This is Roger Stone for American Sovereign Bullion. Since 2020, the U.S. dollar has lost over 20% of its purchasing power. Meanwhile, gold continues to rise. Call 844-272-2428 or go to asbgold.com now to get your free gold and silver guide and learn how to protect your wealth with physical gold and silver delivered to your door or held in a gold IRA today. So go to asbgold.com now. Don't wait for the markets to drop. That's asbgold.com.
USAA knows dynamic duos can save the day, like superheroes and sidekicks or auto and home insurance. With USAA, you can bundle your auto and home and save up to 10%. Tap the banner to learn more and get a quote at USAA.com/bundle. Restrictions apply.
Where's your playlist taking you? Down the highway? To the mountains? Or just into daydream mode while you're stuck in traffic? With over 4,000 hotels worldwide, Best Western is there to help you make the most of your getaway, wherever that is. Because the only thing better than a great playlist is a great trip. Life's the trip. Make the most of it at Best Western. Book direct and save at bestwestern.com.
Ever feel like your brain just won't click? Onnit Alpha Brain is a daily supplement engineered to support memory, focus, and mental speed. Made with science-backed ingredients, Onnit Alpha Brain helps you lock in, tune out distractions, and stay sharp. See what your brain can really do. Visit Onnit.com and shop Alpha Brain to unlock your next level. That's ONNIT.com.
And we're back. We're talking to my good friend Lance Migliaccio of The Big Mig Show. I got a little housekeeping thing here, but you won't mind because I've been out with Lance and I know he likes to eat. His boy can eat. Every year in my family, we have a traditional Italian Easter pie, which is called pizzagane. My Aunt Marie Corbo, 91, still hanging on, in Norwalk, Connecticut. It was the one in the family who baked it. It's kind of a double-crusted, savory, traditional pie filled with cured meats, cheeses, eggs, to celebrate the end of Lent. And when I posted online that I was going to produce the recipe today, some guy said, "Hey, no, that's quiche." first of all, we're not French. And second of all, I've never seen any salami in a quiche. So once in a while, you throw some hard-boiled eggs in there. But let me just give you folks the quick recipe because they promised it. You need 4 unbaked 9-inch pie crusts divided. You need 32 ounces of ragat, as we call it, 1 cup of mozzarella, 2 eggs, and some chopped sweet and hot gabagool, or some pepperoni, or some salami. You can even put ham in there. Basically involves the dough, which is made with flour, eggs, butter, and lard, rather than pie crust. And you basically need about 3 pounds of filling. The ricotta, as I say, various cured meats and cheeses. The pie is very traditionally served cold, but essentially you bake at 375 degrees, then 350, then 325 for several hours once you have mixed all of those ingredients. And it is really an Easter favorite, pizzagate. Did you ever have that in your family, Lance?
Yeah, I absolutely have. And for the audience, gabagool, just so everybody knows, you guys might call it capicola.
Right. You can always tell when someone's not really Italian when they say, "Oh, I'll have a capicola sandwich," right?
Exactly.
That is the dead giveaway. Now, this is a little distinct from the a previous Italian ancestor, pizzina, which originates from the Campania area of Italy. They use bread dough with lard, whereas pizzagate uses a flakier pie crust. But I'm going to post the ingredients online, the actual recipe online. You'll find it on X. I'll tell you where you won't find it. Facebook, because I'm still banned for life. Instagram, where I'm still banned for life. Or YouTube, where I'm still banned for life. I am, after all, the most dangerous man in the country. Lance, tell us about your new crypto and Bitcoin show, because this is very interesting to me.
Yeah, we're doing really well, and I appreciate you giving me a chance to talk about it. It's called the Crypto Power Hour, and you can watch it at 7 a.m. on Wednesdays morning and 7 a.m. on Friday mornings on Rumble. It's the #1 crypto show on Rumble. We cover just about everything. We do an education piece. We bring on top guests from top crypto companies and top projects. It's a great way to learn crypto from the bottom up. We try to break it down like a couple of guys from back east, putting it in simple terms, because, of course, it's a new language for most people, and, people are frustrated. They don't really understand it. They hear about Bitcoin, and pretty much everybody knows Bitcoin, but there are an awful lot of other projects and tokens out there, decentralized finance and blockchain. It's here to stay, and, currently, even the banking network, the SWIFT system, is going to be replaced. And it's going to be replaced by tokenization and decentralized finance, probably Web3 throughout.
And, of course, you do a great show with my good friend George Ballantine, the Big Mig Show. Tell us where people can see that.
Yeah, we actually got back on Rumble after we got suspended. They didn't give us back our original account, which was awful because we had a pretty big account over there. But we're on Rumble, YouTube, and Locals. You can catch us Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard. We get lots of top guests, and it's a variety show. We do our political banter, and like as you said earlier, we go after both sides of the aisle. But we also bring on, musicians and comedians and MMA guys and special forces and health advocates. We try to innovate to create a product where people can get lots of information, because just as you said, I go after everybody because I think we're in an awful spot, and the only thing I'm interested in is fixing the country for everyone. So it's kind of a unifying show, educating and unifying the country one episode at a time.
All right, I want to thank our guest, Lance Migliaccio, also known as the Big Mig, good friend of mine, truth teller, hard worker. Has a couple great shows. You got to check them out. Coming up just around the bend, former U.S. Senator and Senate Foreign Relations Committee member Bob Torricelli of New Jersey joins us to talk about the situation in Iran and what is next. Lance, thanks for joining us today on the Roger Stone Show.
Hey, Roger. Thank you so very much. I appreciate it. To you and your guests. And again, hope you had a great Easter.
We're going to get you back, Lance, during the week. All right. Many thanks. Don't go away. Senator Bob Torricelli with us on the other side.
Thanks for listening to The Roger Stone Show. You can hear The Roger Stone Show Sunday afternoons at 3. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?
Listen to this podcast now on the Red Apple Podcast Network. The Leadership Thread with Dr. Peggy Polonis.
I'm Dr. Peggy Polonis. Join me on each episode where I unravel the story that shaped leaders, tracing the thread that led them where they are today. Because leadership isn't born in adulthood. And thank you once again for joining us on the Leadership Thread, education, ethics, and sustainability.
Download all of Red Apple Media's podcasts right now through your favorite podcast platform.
The right window treatments change everything. Your sleep, your privacy, the way every room looks and feels. At Blinds.com, we've spent 30 years making it surprisingly simple to get exactly what your home needs. We've covered over 25 million windows and have 50,000 5-star reviews to prove we deliver. Whether you DIY it or want a pro to handle everything from measure to install, we have you covered. Real design professionals, free samples, zero pressure. Right now, get up to 45% off site-wide, plus get a free professional measure at Blinds.com. Rules and restrictions apply.